This video provides general legal information for educational purposes, not legal advice. To build a general-purpose AI model, a developer first needs a staggering amount of information. In order to teach a machine to generate human-like output, it swallows billions of text files, images, and videos. This process is known as text and data mining, or TDM. It functions as the mechanism that allows models to scan and absorb the digital contents of the internet at scale. But the internet isn't just raw data. It is a repository of books, photographs, and artwork created by people, and much of that work is protected by copyright. This creates a direct collision. Creators argue their life's work is being used without permission, while tech companies claim that unrestricted data access is the only way to drive innovation. On August 2, 2025, the European Union moved to regulate this practice. With the enforcement of the AI Act, developers can no longer rely on a legal gray area to train their models. The regulation isn't designed to stop AI development. Instead, it aims to force a legally binding conversation between automated systems and the human creators they depend on. The AI Act doesn't actually rewrite copyright law. Instead, it acts as a bridge, connecting AI companies to the legal frameworks that creators already use to protect their work. This starts with the 2019 EU Copyright Directive. Article 4 of that directive gave companies a baseline permission to mine data for commercial use, but it wasn't an absolute right. It included an opt-out mechanism. Creators can reserve their work and refuse to let an AI system scrape it. Online, this reservation must be expressed in a machine-readable format, using code like a robots.txt file or meta tags that crawlers recognize. But this legal right is difficult to enforce if a creator doesn't know what is going on inside the AI's training process. Historically, it has been impossible to see inside the black box of AI data diets. This is where Article 53 of the AI Act changes the equation. It provides the enforcement tools necessary to make those copyright protections work in the real world. First, providers of general-purpose AI must implement a formal policy to respect copyright. They are now required to use state-of-the-art technology to identify and honor those creator opt-outs. This reaches beyond Europe's borders. If a model is trained in a country with weaker copyright laws, it must still comply with these EU standards if the developer wants to sell that model in the European market. Second, providers must publish a sufficiently detailed summary of the data they used for training. They have to follow a specific AI Office template that lists the main datasets and sources that fed the model. These two obligations worked together to remove the secrecy surrounding AI development. They force tech companies to be accountable for exactly what their machines are consuming. The link between these two legal systems is now live. Generative AI developers are now required by law to account for the copyright status of their training data. However, the jurisdictional lines remain. While the AI Act mandates transparency, it is still the job of traditional copyright law to determine if a specific use constitutes an infringement. For businesses, this necessitates a transformation in how data is tracked. They must now document their pipelines, summarize their sources, and actively filter for opt-outs. For creators, the law provides a formal shield in the opt-out and a flashlight in the training summaries. They now have the information they need to see if their intellectual property was used. By tying model development to copyright compliance, the AI industry is now legally obligated to acknowledge the human creators who made its training data possible.